Are the Boston Celtics about to pull off a game-changing move? Rumors are swirling that the front office is eyeing a big-name player to bolster their championship hopes. With the season heating up, will they make the splash we've all been waiting for? Stay tuned, because you won't want to miss this. And if you want to be the first to know about all the latest Celtics news, hit that subscribe button and give us a like. The Miami Heat are making headlines with a potential blockbuster trade that could shake up the Eastern Conference landscape. And as a passionate Boston Celtics fan, I can't help but feel a mix of excitement and concern. With the Heat currently sitting at 5th in the Eastern Conference with a 12-10 record, they've managed to regain some stability after a rocky start. But let's talk about Jimmy Butler. The man has been a warrior for this team, leading them to 2 NBA Finals. But at 35 years old, his fitness issues and declining output are becoming a real concern. Tyler Herro has stepped up in a big way, playing at an all-star level, and the Heat might be facing a tough decision regarding Butler's future. Rumors are swirling that the Los Angeles Lakers could be eyeing Butler as they look to bolster their roster alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The Lakers have struggled after a hot start, and they need a third star to seriously contend for the championship. The proposed trade would send Butler and Alec Burks to LA, while Miami would receive D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht, and a 2031 first-round pick from the Lakers. It's a bold move that could redefine both teams. Now let's break this down. For the Heat, trading Butler would mean letting go of a player who has been instrumental in their success. Can any of the incoming players fill that void? D'Angelo Russell has shown flashes of brilliance, but he's inconsistent. Rui Hachimura has potential, but he's still finding his footing in the league. And while Dalton Knecht is viewed as having special potential, he's unproven at this level. This trade could be a gamble for Miami, especially considering Butler's playoff pedigree and leadership. You have to wonder if it's worth risking that for a package that may not deliver immediate results. On the flip side, if the Lakers pull this trade off, they're getting a proven playoff performer in Butler. But what does that mean for their depth? They'd be parting ways with key role players. And while Butler can elevate their game, he's also had his share of injury issues this season. It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario that could either catapult them back into championship contention or leave them vulnerable. As a Celtics fan, I'm watching this situation closely. Any movement in the East affects our chances, and seeing Butler in a Lakers uniform is not something I relish. But I also know that the Heat have to think long-term. If Butler walks away next offseason without any return, that could hurt them even more than a trade would. The pressure is on Miami to make a decision that could shape the future of their franchise. So, where do I stand? Honestly, I'm torn. I can see the logic behind both sides of this trade, but I can't help but feel that letting go of Butler could backfire for Miami. They've built so much around him, and while change can be good, it can also disrupt chemistry. I think they need to find a way to keep him for as long as possible, but I also understand the need to prepare for the future. I want to dive into some intriguing trade rumors that are swirling around the NBA, particularly focusing on a player that could have significant implications for our Boston Celtics. I know we're all keeping a close eye on the landscape of the league, especially with the start of the season not going as some teams had hoped. The Los Angeles Lakers, who have been struggling defensively, are reportedly interested in New Orleans Pelicans' versatile defender Herb Jones. Now, let's be real here. Jones is an impressive talent. He's currently in the second year of a very favorable 4-year, $53.8 million contract, and he's already made a name for himself as a 3-and-D player, averaging 10.7 points, 3.4 rebounds, and nearly 2 steals per game. The Lakers are tied with the Rockets and Thunder as betting favorites to land Jones if he gets traded. This is a player who was named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team last year, so you can imagine what he would bring to any team, especially to a Lakers squad that needs a defensive presence to shore up their bottom 5 defense. Despite his shooting struggles this season, where he's hitting just 29.2% from beyond the arc, I think we can all agree that he possesses the potential to turn it around. After all, last season, he shot an impressive 41.8% from three. The question is, how would this affect our Celtics? If Jones ends up in LA, that certainly strengthens their defensive capabilities and could potentially turn their season around. That's a scenario we don't want to see in the Eastern Conference. For us, it's essential to keep our foot on the gas and continue to solidify our own roster. The more competitive the teams out west become, the more pressure it puts on us to maintain our standing and push for a title. Now, if the Pelicans decide to keep Jones or their asking price is too high, the Lakers are also looking at an older, yet still effective, option in Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets. Finney-Smith is shooting 43.2% from three this season, which is significantly better than Jones at this point, and he has playoff experience, having gone deep with the Mavericks just last year. This would give the Lakers another avenue to bolster their roster without giving up too much. As Celtics fans, it's crucial for us to monitor these developments closely. The last thing we want is for the Lakers to find a way to enhance their lineup. The more versatile and defensively sound they become, the harder it will be for us come playoff time. What do you think? Is this a time for the Celtics to consider making a move of our own? It's interesting to think about how the market is shaping up. With the Pelicans sitting at 5-20, they're definitely sellers, and it wouldn't be shocking to see them offload some of their talent. If we have players that could help them in their rebuild, would it be worth exploring a trade? I'm honestly torn on this one. Do we stick with our current roster and trust the process, or do we make a bold move to ensure we're top contenders? And what about our own areas of need? We've seen some inconsistencies in our game as well, particularly on the defensive end. I'm curious if we should be looking into potential trades to bolster our own 3 and D options. It's a complex situation, and the decisions we make now could very well shape our playoff run. So, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the Lakers potentially landing Herb Jones? Do you think they become a much tougher opponent for us? And how should the Celtics respond to these trade rumors? Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. I want to know what you're thinking. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated on all the latest Celtics news, don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow fans, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you won't miss any essential updates as we journey through the season together.